Hello and welcome to another Matchday Vlog with the Football Pyramid. Today I've made my way down to a soggy but playable Willen Road Sports Ground, home of Newport Pagnell Town for the United Counties League Premier Division South clash against Yaxley. The Swans, who boast a really impressive facility down here, may ring a bell or two for the non-league follower, largely due to their FA Vars success in the not too distant past. So, let's go and see what else has been happening at the club. Mark, thank you very much for having me down there this afternoon, buddy. It's a real pleasure to join you. What I wanted to get into with you, mate, was a brief history of this club, your connection with it. Just talk me through it.
Yeah, okay. So before my time, the club founded itself in 1963 here at Willen Road. And my involvement, I became involved in the club 7 years ago, and that was through my children playing football here.
Okay.
Being introduced to the club and asked if I'd wish to volunteer and take part in the behind the scenes side of football.
I get you. Yeah, really good. And I'm glad that you touched on this, or the youth aspect there, because this club has got a real rich history at that pathway in producing stars that go on to higher levels, hasn't it?
Yes. So we currently have 40 youth teams, and they range from our mini kickers that start at 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Then we start under 7s football.
Okay.
And then we go all the way through to our under 18s. And then we've got our men's development team, our ladies development team, and then both our male and female first teams. And as you've put it, youth football has seen a country hero come through in the fact Leah Williamson was part of the club, is now part of the club, and her legacy continues with 2 years ago the introduction of the Leah Williamson 3G football pitch.
Yeah, no, I actually saw a pre-season friendly here just before the start of this season on that pitch, to be fair. Don't ask me who it was against, as I can't remember. But yeah, you talk about people like Leah Williamson coming through grassroots clubs like this.
Yes.
Let's put that into perspective. Double Euros winner as captain. Yes. Champions League and WSL winner with Arsenal.
Absolutely.
Just how proud of the club of Leah and the pathway that it offers.
And we are extremely proud. We have her invited down here on occasions. She'll turn up because we're very proud that we have her brother, Jacob Williamson. He plays for our first team.
Yep.
So she'll often come and watch him play football. And then, as I say, we had a big day with the fact that we opened the 3G pitch in honour of her success at professional standard of football.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's fantastic, and I think it only goes to further highlight the importance of clubs at this level. I don't think you can understate the importance of grassroots football.
Yeah, grassroots football is a massive part of the community. It's a huge part of the Newport Pagnell community, and any community where there is a football club. We encourage all of the children from the surrounding area of Newport Pagnell and further to join us here. We're in schools educating. We've got one of our head of ladies football, James Badham, has started the Swans Foundation, which is getting into schools and educating and introducing children to football. So it's a massive thing within this club here at Newport.
Yeah, no, and I think the proof's in the pudding for the club to produce somebody of that calibre.
Yes.
Who, by the way, now is also an MBE.
Yes, that's true.
To produce all of that from Newport Pagnell Town, it is absolutely phenomenal. However, the club and the men's side has successes of its own recently.
Yes, it does.
2021, 2022 FA Vars champions.
Yes.
Just talk to me a bit about that journey and how special it was for the club.
So it is the biggest achievement the club's ever had. We got all our way through each FA Vars round. We ended up having an unbelievable day, unbelievable memories at Wembley against Littlehampton.
Yeah.
With a fantastic result of the day, which then went on to see celebrations not only outside of Wembley Stadium, but then coming back to Newport Pagnell. We had an open top bus go through the town on Newport's Carnival Day, and the celebrations continued.
Yeah.
And then again, the following season, we were extremely successful in achieving a place at Wembley again in the final.
Yeah.
And on that one occasion against Ascot, we're unfortunate with
I wasn't
a
going to
loss.
mention that, in
No,
fairness.
because it's just fair, isn't it?
No,
We
you're
had-
right.
We had a fantastic season 21-22, a great season 22-23, but we're just very unfortunate at the last game.
Yeah, the last hurdle, as you say. But it's been an up and down-ish season on the pitch this year, hasn't it? I think you
Yes,
finished
it
sixth
has.
in the league last year. There has been a bit of a drop-off. What are the club doing sort of to bring it back up to the levels where you think you belong?
I think it's about investment, isn't it? We've changed our senior management within men's football, and we've been very fortunate to have the return of Gary Flynn and Gary Chance, the two managers that took us to Wembley on both occasions.
Nice.
They've returned to the club, so I think it's just about getting ourselves the structure right, getting ourselves playing in the winning frame of mind again.
Yeah, gotcha. No, it makes absolute sense, to be fair. And those two returning to the club can only be a good thing. It can only be positive, can't it?
It can be, yeah. They're the two managers that have given us the success of 2 FA Vars runs, and hopefully, I don't know how we'll fare by the end of the season, but hopefully they remain at the club and we move forward next season and get ourselves established into a winning mode again.
Absolutely, absolutely. But off the pitch, this club also does a lot, not just with the youth and the local area, but you also support the wider area and the wider community. An initiative recently that you guys had was a food bank collection for, was it Milton Keynes Food Bank?
Yeah, Milton Keynes Food Bank. We just invited all visiting fans and home fans to come to, I think it was the game 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And just bring whatever they could manage to bring. And some of our volunteers then took it down to Milton Keynes Food Bank, which were extremely grateful and happy to have that.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I love that. And no, I think personally that's what grassroots and non-league football really, really is all about.
Yeah, it is. And I think I touched on it with the volunteers. This football club is run by volunteers. Everyone is a volunteer that dedicates their own time to give what they can to supporting this club. And that's what's in the background of it all the time is these volunteers.
Yeah, and I think the volunteers so important, as you say. And I think this last sort of 3 to 4 years for Newport Pagnell Town has been a real period of growth, and you've on the pitch and off the pitch as well. But one question I always ask is, what is next for Newport Pagnell Town Football Club?
I don't know what's next. We've got we keep expanding our youth element. We're the highest level of youth football teams we've ever had here. That can only ever keep increasing. We've got the new development ongoing across the road from us with Bloor Homes. There is work underway here to redevelop certain aspects of the ground at Willen Road. So the next few years, who knows where we'll reach.
Yeah, really, really exciting time to be connected to the club. And as I say, I really appreciate you having me down here this afternoon. One of the very, very few games in the local area that's on. So
yes, it is. Yeah.
Whether the groundsman's going to be happy or unhappy, I don't know. But as I say, yeah, thanks for having me. Wish you the best of luck on the pitch, and I look forward to coming back down again soon.
Excellent.
Top man, thank you, Mark.
Invited.
Thank you very much,
Thank
mate.
you.
Nice one. Mark,
After our chat with Mark, it's time for the match action. A huge shout out to everyone behind the scenes for their dedication to ensure that despite the weather, we have a game. These conditions really have a way of making things nice and interesting. So with that being said, Newport Pagnell Town versus Yaxley, let's get it.
Goal for the Swans, number 9.
On the court. Come on. All the way. Yeah! Nice. Yes.
Goal number 5.
Okay, so full time down here at Newport Pagnell Town. I think it's safe to say we've got a landslide home win. 7-0, absolutely smashed it today. Gary, thank you for joining me. Just give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a difficult pitch, but yeah, we're happy to get the win. I mean, it's a cliche. You can only beat what's in front of you. I think we adapted to the pitch quite well. Took our early goals, helped us probably set the platform, and yeah, clean sheet was also important. So yeah, happy with the win, happy with the clean sheet.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, difficult conditions out there today. Quite a surprise that the game went ahead at all, in fairness. But looking at the pitch, it really did hold up quite well, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, this pitch, I mean, it probably holds the water quite well, but it's not been in the best conditions recently. But I think, yeah, it was definitely playable from the start. Obviously, the rain during the game hasn't helped, so it's made it quite difficult, I think, and obviously makes for a good game of football more difficult. But I think the pitch held up in the end quite well.
Yeah, that's it, mate. And like I say, it just adds to the nature of the game, doesn't it? Skidding off the surface. But like I say, come down to two teams. Who's going to handle the conditions better? Yeah. And it's safe to say that your boys adapted and managed to eke it out and absolutely hammered it in the end.
Yeah, as I say, I think getting the early goals helped us set the platform. And look, in games like this, you just got to do the basics well. Take your chances when they come. Make sure you don't make any mistakes, which is easy on a pitch like this where it's slippy. But we minimise it. I don't really think they threatened. To be fair to them, they didn't really threaten our goal, and I think we sort of managed the game really well all the way to the end.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. But I think the fact that they didn't threaten was sort of the solidity of your back line as well. You like to play it out from the back. Is that sort of a philosophy that you hold? Because you still tried to keep it on the floor even in these conditions.
Yeah, I mean, we're sort of trying now, between now and the end of the season, a little bit. We've changed shape a little bit in recent games. So we've had a few new personnel come in that we want to have a look at, some younger players. So we're sort of adapting a little bit as we go along. We are playing the shape where we want to keep the ball a little bit better than probably we were earlier in the season. And I think, to be fair, even though the pitch was tough, I think we particularly first half, I think we did that really well.
Yeah, would agree with that assessment fully, to be fair. You had 2 hat-tricks out there as well today. As a manager, that's got to be really pleasing.
Yeah, because to be fair, both Jake and Corvell have been a little bit unlucky in front of goal. They've been our main 2 goal scorers this season, but in the last couple of weeks, they've probably not quite had the luck or haven't quite finished the opportunities that have come their way. So I'm happy for them both, because I think it's a couple of weeks, probably they haven't scored for about the last 3 or 4 games. So to get both your sort of main strikers getting the goals today is good, pleasing.
Absolutely. I bet you was in there saying, listen, can you spread this out over the next few weeks, lads, and not score hat-tricks, for God's sake?
But look, we're happy for them to take the chances when they come. I think particularly for Jake today, I think his goals, his second goal particularly, was a good finish. To be fair, we put a lot of pressure on Corvell because we know he has end product. So today, I think also his finishes were really good.
Yeah, that's it. I think the lad that you mentioned there, Corvell's got a hell of a lot of ability. Somebody that I was speaking to just as the game started, the first couple of touches, you see as soon as he gets on the ball. Just how good is it to have a player as exciting as that in your side?
Yeah, look, when we came back into the club earlier in the season, we put a little bit. He's only young. We put a little bit of pressure on him because he has got ability. But you've got to have a little bit of desire with that and a little bit of hunger, which we'll keep working on him with. But yeah, he's for this level, he's a good player. He's not the finished article like all of them, so we still need to work on little aspects of his game. But he's definitely got the quality anyway.
Yeah, he certainly has. But I suppose then that comes down to yourself and your joint manager as a management team to get the best out of players like that.
Yeah, I mean, you try and get the best out of all of the players, in different ways. So they all have a certain amount of ability. That's why they're playing at this level. Some of them, we have a relatively young side, so we want to try and still coach them and encourage them in the right ways. But, you know, that's also being a little bit tough on them sometimes to try and make sure they understand what they need to do to become better players.
Yeah, no, respect that fully. And away from the game today, the wider picture, sort of where you sit in the league at the moment, it's probably not as high up the pitch as high up the table as what you would have expected to be at this point of the season. What are the aims for the remainder of the season now?
I think our aims are really just to try and win as many games between now and the end of the season. We sort of knew that probably we weren't quite where we need to be from a squad perspective in terms of to really push for the playoffs. We'll keep trying to win football games as they come along. We'll see where it takes us. But we sort of, if we're honest, we have half an eye on next season. That's why we're trying a few things, trying players, looking at a few younger players, because we want to try and build and build some momentum going into next season. So that's really where we're at the moment.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. In fairness, where are we looking at for next season? So that's good. But yeah, we're not sort of in that business end of the season yet. Mm-hmm. But I do suppose you have to look forward in order to understand where you're going to be. Are you laying down your expectations sort of to the club and to the boys already?
Yes. Obviously, we came in quite early in the season, to be fair, but probably we've had to evolve the squad. It's not easy to evolve a squad to where you want it to be during the season. So it's a case of evolving, improving a little bit, which I think we've slowly done. We still haven't got the consistency. That's something we need to keep working on. And obviously, we want to evolve the squad and bring in players that will improve us and make sure that we're set up and ready to go for next season.
Yeah, well, as I say, you've done yourselves no harm out on the pitch today. A fantastic performance. A few more like that and you'll be at the right end of the table. And I genuinely believe that the future is bright for Newport Pagnell Town Football Club on and off the pitch. I think you've got some fantastic people behind the scenes. You've got a squad that's really, really capable and genuinely look forward to continuing to follow this journey. And I'm grateful to you guys for having me this afternoon.
No, thanks for your support. Thanks for coming and watching us. And if we win 7-0, is it 7? It was 7, wasn't it?
It was 7, yeah.
So we win 7-0 every time you come more regularly. So
yeah, next time you're at home, let me know. I'll come down, we'll sort you out. Don't worry.
Okay, cheers.
Top man, appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, what an afternoon down here at Newport Pagnell Town. A more than worthwhile trip for a performance like that. Not only did the club impress on the pitch, but the facilities, infrastructure, fantastic work to support the local community, and not to mention the ever-fruitful pathway for stars of the future is something that all at the club can be immensely proud of. Huge thanks to everyone at the club for having me and for making me feel so welcome. Thank you to everyone for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.